Hello, dear learners. This is our speaking lesson, and our topic is last weekend. So, we will practice talking about our last weekend and discuss what we did. To begin with, I want you to have a look at these photos and try to say what they did. What do you think she did last weekend? I think she visited some places. What did he do? He skateboarded in the park. Where was he? He was at the beach last weekend. How about you? Can you talk about your last weekend? What did you do? Here are my answers. I prepared for my lessons. I talked to my colleague on the phone. I cooked dinner for my family. Here we have some key phrases. We use them to ask someone about their last weekend. From 1 to 4, we have questions, and from A to D, we have answers. We are supposed to match correct responses with questions. First, let's read questions. How was your weekend? Were you on your own? What was London like? Here, London is written in brackets. That means we can change London and use another word instead of it. Was your weekend good? Let's continue with answers. No, I was with my cousin. My cousin is in the bracket, so we can change it. For example, I was with my friends. I was with my family. B. Yeah, it was brilliant. Great, thanks. It was cool. Let's see correct matching. How was your weekend? Great, thanks. Were you on your own? No, I was with my cousin. What was London like? It was cool. Was your weekend good? Yeah, it was brilliant. Now, dear learners, let's listen to the track and practice saying these questions.
Track 2.38, Unit 6, Speaking, Exercise 3.
How was your weekend? Were you on your own? What was London like?
Was your weekend good?
Let's look at this photo. Do you think they're returning from a trip? How do you know? Yeah, I think they're returning back from the trip. Because they're carrying suitcases and they're probably at the airport. And this is Tina in the photos. She was in London last weekend. She visited her uncle in some places. Let's listen to the dialogue between Jake and Tina and find out what Tina did in London.
Track 2.37, Unit 6, Speaking, Exercise 2.
Hi Tina, how was your weekend?
Great, thanks. I visited my uncle and then I travelled to London.
Really? Were you on your own?
No, I was with Laura. She knows the city very well.
What was London like?
It was cool. The shops were amazing.
Only the shops?
No, there were a lot of things to do. My favourite place was Covent Garden.
What about the tourist sites?
I wanted to visit the Tate Modern Gallery, but there wasn't time. And how about you? Was your weekend good?
Yeah, it was brilliant. There was a party at John's house on Saturday evening.
Sounds good.
In the dialogue, Jake used a couple of questions to ask Tina about her weekend. That was how was. How was is a question used to ask about the condition or the state of someone or something. For example, how was your weekend? How was the trip? How was the match? Another question was, what was it like? We use this question to ask about the description of something or someone, the appearance, the character, the behavior, etc. For example, what was the holiday like? What was the film like? What was the party like? We have some possible answers. It was great. It was cool. It was okay. It was terrible. Let's practice some more answers. The special effects were brilliant. The story was really interesting. The food wasn't very nice. Manchester United was really good. The people were really good. The places weren't really good. The weather was rubbish. The thing you have to be careful with is the subject. If you have the subject in plural, you have to use were after it. If you have the subject in singular, you have to use was after the subject. Now it's your time. Pretend you return from a trip and prepare a dialogue with your classmate. What would you like to ask your friend about his or her last weekend? How was the trip? Were you on your own? How was the food? Note that on your own means alone. Now, dear students, please take time to practice these dialogues and expressions. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next lesson.